Hello everyone, welcome back to Book Corner. I'm Hermione, author and lover of all good things literature. So this is the first bookie video of 2026. I hope everybody is having a great beginning of the year. I can still work on this, which I will be doing hopefully before long. So I want to talk about some of the something that I did way back in November that I did not get around to talk about, and that was rewriting chapter 1. And I had watched this video about the 6 mistakes that beginning fantasy writers make, and I sort of avoided that mistake with the Dragon Queen, but I sort of made the mistake with this one. And that was putting events, basically writing down events that have already happened. And so I decided to delete that entire chapter and start all over again by basically given readers an indication that something big is going to happen in Gwen's life. And I also decided to name the mother because I did not do that in the original draft of the book. And with me currently on chapter 5, I really needed to do that because we're going to be constantly using her name through most of the book. Though she kind of drops away a little over halfway through the book. That's my intention and everything. So going back and rewriting that and kind of giving this air that something gigantic is going to happen really, I think, really helped my book along. So, yeah. So another thing that I did was I started, I told you guys in one of the videos that I was dedicating most of chapter 3 and all of chapter 4 to Gwen learning how to do magic properly, to kind of give her some kind of control over these abilities that she now possesses. And some people might say, well, she was casting spells without any problem, which is a typical Mary Sue thing. And I'm going to clarify that it was the book that helped to channel her magic more effectively. But we're talking about using magic without that particular crutch that she enjoyed using. So you have the guy, and he actually has a brother, which is great because the brother actually runs the farm and he's the one that takes him up into the mountains. And I spent an entire page describing the journey. I think it was like a page and a half to describe the journey. And what's interesting is where she goes, she's been there before. And I'm not going into much detail about that. But I was just sitting down with a separate piece of paper, and I was like, let me rephrase that. Not a separate sheet of paper. I actually opened up a file and I basically titled Magic System, and I actually wrote out the rules. So I started off with the foundation of the magic, which is like the elements earth, air, fire, and water. And it's not like Avatar or anything like that. I definitely stayed away from that. But what I did was I just started with the foundation of it, and then I sort of thought about how is each of the elements, how are they limited, or how are they expanded upon, and all that type of stuff. And yeah, so it actually took me, I actually spent like 4 or 5 days um, writing up and really thinking about how the magic system was going to work. And like one of the things that I did in the magic system was that I I based a lot of the potions that she uses the in the book, and I was kind of thinking about, how are these potions working and all that. And what ended up happening was I ended up either going like this, like, oh, I'm never gonna go figure this out, to, okay, wait a minute, if people can figure out their own magic system, then so can I. So that's what I did. So I spent about 4 or 5 days thinking about it, and then I just decided, since this is just the first book and she is learning, to basically just start off very basic, and then as the series progresses on, add more layers to the system, then instead of just overthinking exactly what I was doing. So that's one of the things that I did. Um, and, every once in a while she will pull that book out, but at some point she's actually going to just use that book as a reference to trying to understand what she's seeing in front of her. So yeah, so that is it. That's that's basically how I rewrote chapter 1, what I added to it, and how I'm doing the magic system. Yeah, so, just for advice for people that want to create their own magic system, just start off with like the basic and just add on it as you move along. But hey, if you want to spend like weeks writing out the rules of magic in your system and all that type of stuff, so you don't have to do that later on, that is fine. So I will see you guys next time.